Yeah, how's it going, guys? This is something different. Um, yeah, like I said, I don't know if you heard in the first video I ever made. It's not gonna be about video games only. Um, it's just recording some things. So it's just stuff I like to do, pretty much. And I was just working on something. Here's the thing: I've been doing a lot of projects this whole time, and I just never record them. I don't know why. I always forget to. I always forget. So what I'm doing right now is this is an AK stock. It's made out of real wood, obviously, but I didn't like how it turned out. It's just something I did with the Dremel, but I didn't like how it turned out. I got the ugliest, most stinkiest, most weirdest, twisted, deformed piece of wood, 2x4 piece of wood, but a 2x4 end to give it more character. It looks nice, but the finish doesn't look that great. I mean, I don't know if you can tell it. Maybe you can get it. See, it's got a little bit of a sheen. It's got a good sheen, but there's scratches all over it, like this right here. This I can make it better, and I'm gonna show you how. Just a neat little trick that I've learned over the years. But first, let's say you want to get your good stock, or whatever stock or whatever piece of wood you're working with. But this is mainly for gun stocks because I'm going to be using this right here. Tru-Oil. That's in the very end, but Tru-Oil it's mainly for gun stocks. I mean, yeah, I imagine it'll work for other pieces of wood, but this is what I use for gun stocks. But right now, it gave me this color because I was using this thing right here, shellac. It sucks, but the color is beautiful, and I'm gonna redo it. So what I'm doing right now is just getting some 80 grit sandpaper. Right there, 80 grit. That means it's more rougher. For the people that don't know sandpaper, it's more rougher. It's very aggressive. Now I'm just sanding it enough to get rid of the old marks, old scratches. But when I'm sanding it, you gotta sand with the grain. Don't sand against it. You see the little lines in the wood? You gotta sand with them, not against it. Don't do that. So the grain is going this way. I'm gonna be sanding like this. Right? So once that's done, I just move up to 120 grit to maybe 200, 300, 4, and then 5, and then usually it's just 4 or 500 grit. That's when you can start applying the finish. But right now I'm just sanding it, and yeah, I'll see you later, or I'll see you when it's done. For like right here, I'm not gonna sand this design because I can't really reach in through the grooves and the deeper spots. So if you got something like that too, or if you don't want to sand a piece, you could put tape on it, or just really fold your sandpaper into a sharp edge and really use that. Like for example right here, really use that not to go here but to go there inside. But you're not touching this, right? Just a little tip, because obviously there's people that already know how to do this, obviously, but I'm talking to the people that were in my position before. They never get that answer questions like how do they sand this, and it's like I do it and I get scratches all over. Well, all you gotta do is fold it like that. Fold it, make sure it's not touching that, and take your time. Take your time. This is very time consuming. You can speed it up with the sanding, but like applying the finish, it takes time. So just work at it until you get all the scratches out, and it's one uniform piece. No scratches, no nothing. It's just, sanded completely. Or if you already got a piece, well, besides that, you have to sand it, right? So it can be smooth. No bumps, no dents, anything like that. Now, there is another way to get rid of these marks or whatever. I know it's hard to tell on the camera, but trust me, it's since I got the ugliest wood, it's got like a bunch of this stuff right here. It's pretty, it's smooth, but there's like a little dent, like a dent or a dip right there. There's one right here too. I'll show you like what I'm doing right now. I'm sanding, right? But I'm collecting all this wood dust. I'm gonna be collecting that, and I'm gonna get some wood glue, and pretty much a wood glue or epoxy, two-part epoxy, and I just fill it in there and then sand it flat, flush to the wood itself. Now, you don't have to just sand like that with a piece of paper. You can let's see, hold on. Imagine this is a piece of wood, or a piece of, yeah, just a piece of wood, right? You can make what is called a sanding plane. Wrap it around, hold it, and it's flat. And it's flat and sturdy, so it's not gonna, just round the edge. It's almost like a file. It's gonna sand everything straight. But right now, I don't think I need that. I know how to sand, so sanding is pretty much, once you learn, you don't really need the sanding plane, only like on spots right here maybe to make it straight. Maybe down here, but it's already been shaped. I'm just sanding it to get rid of the finish. So I'll keep at it. Okay, I'm coming to this spot right here, like this curve right here. No, it doesn't matter what curve, or if this is like, don't how do I say it? Don't let that stop you. Don't, get afraid. Don't be scared of that. I'm standing right here, right? But I'm coming to this little, I don't know what you would call that. This little incline, this little ramp here. When I'm sanding, I'm turning it like this to make the sandpaper run on this surface now. Let me get a better angle. Okay, on this surface. So I'm sanding here, right? And I just turn and keep like sanding on this edge. Not too much, because you'll just make it really round. So especially with 80 grit, 80 grit will sand everything fast. 80 grit's really fast, but what's time consuming is changing the grit to make it smoother, right? So I'll give a demonstration right now. I'm going here, right? And I turn and I keep going. I keep going straight back and forth with the grain. I don't go like this and then turn around and go like that across it. Yeah, it'll be easier, but you're still going to get those scratches. It has to be one uniform direction. Like so. Like on this side too, I'm going over. Like I'm turning it and I keep going over to turn it. I don't have to do it, but I just like to cover everything. But for now, it's just this. And really press your fingers into the sandpaper. Bend it if you have to get into like this spot right here. Because these brown marks? It's because I missed it and I gotta really get in there. There's no other the real way to there's no magic way. It's just blood, sweat, and tears. You just gotta get at it, get into it, get in there and sandpaper or sand it real good. Trust me, there's people that they're not patient enough to do this. I don't understand why. I mean, it's time consuming, but it's not that bad. I understand if it's a whole big piece of wood or like a table, yeah, that sucks, but it's worth it in the end. If you do it right, it's worth it. So just keep at it. By the way, I know I said this is for stock, but it's like for pretty much my airsoft gun. I have real guns, but I'm too scared to work on the real one on that. It looks good already. I don't need to, but if it ever gets scratched up, I know how to fix it. But a good way to practice is just like if somebody's got a BB gun or an airsoft gun and they want to make wood furniture, that's a good way to practice. And um, yeah, just a good way to practice. And you don't have to risk, a real weapon if you're too scared. So that's what I'm doing right now. Uh, it's looking good so far. But yeah, just keep at it. Just keep at it. Another thing to know, like these spots right here. Oh, hold on. Oh, backwards. Oh, there we go. It's kind of hard looking through at the screen. By the way, I'm using my phone, obviously. Later on, I'll get a real camera, but just for now, I'm just using my phone. So it's going to be a little quick tip. See these spots right here? It's from the old stain, or actually from this shellac. If it won't come out, the best thing to do is use, let's see. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Is to use something like this, stripper. Just a little bit. You don't get it like if you got rubber gloves, don't put it on your rubber gloves because they'll melt the gloves. So yeah, wear gloves, but get you like a piece of stick or like a disposable fork or like plasticware, plastic fork, plastic spoon or whatever, just something you can throw away in the end. Just put a little bit in there. Or like if this was all perfectly smooth, no scratches, all you gotta do is put a little bit on it all around and give it like about 15 minutes and it'll start like bubbling off the surface. All that finish, all that stain will come out easily, bubbling. And then you get like, I don't know, something like this. Like a card, usually a credit card or a piece of plastic in that shape. And you just scrape it off. And once you scrape it all off, you can get like some steel wool, like not the rough steel wool that you use for dishes, but like something like this. Triple lot will usually work. The more zeros, the finer the grain, the finer the cut. So if you use maybe like triple lot is probably best, just to get rid of all the stuff and make it all like smooth again. And then you would probably have to, god dang, I forgot, hold on. You'd probably have to use something else to neutralize the stripper so it doesn't, keep stripping. Something like this. This is a denatured alcohol. That's going to neutralize the stripper, so when you apply the finish, the stripper inside the wood won't strip the finish you just put. So once you apply this denatured alcohol on the wood, it'll neutralize it and you could safely put wood filler or like the stain or like the finish, right? But you got to wear gloves with this. Don't touch this or don't put this near your lips. Keep this away from children. Keep all of this away from children, especially this. This will kill you. This is toxic. So don't use this without gloves. All right, make sure you got gloves. This, just use gloves, but don't get some of it on your gloves. Yeah, let me keep at it then. Okay, so I'm getting to this part right here. I don't want to sand this. It's already smooth. I don't have to sand it, but also I don't want to I don't want to scratch it up. So again, I'm getting to this spot. This is where I slow down a bit. I use the corner or sharp edge of the sandpaper. See if I can. And I go. I'm not touching it. And you could even use your nail to like put against here. Not too rough because you probably like give a dent. But just enough where it's not, the sandpaper is not touching it, but your fingernail or your finger is, not the sandpaper. And you can go to town. It just hurts after a while because it's hot friction. So yeah, just take your time here as well. This is very important if you don't want to sand a piece or sand somewhere. Because 80 grit, it doesn't matter. If I like barely, like just, like if I was wiping the dust off with this, just like very lightly, you're going to see some big scratches. 80 grit is pretty aggressive. That's another way. You don't have to go like that back and forth. Sandpaper will work. Just, sandpaper works. So you can just go one direction only. It's not going to affect, it's not going to affect if you're doing this to the rest of the wood. It's just going to be one straight line, like with the grain. As long as that's with the grain, you'll be fine. Doesn't matter if you switch the sandpaper because you're making the lines that way. So if there's like some really stubborn bumps, you can use old files, like where the files have been like metal files, but like the file itself has been dulled, or it's been used to the point where it's dull and it won't shave metal. That's great for wood because it's very light and it won't, be aggressive. That's great, but for now I'm just going to use sandpaper since everything's already shaped. Like I said again, I don't need to shape it anymore. I'm just taking off the finish. I could use stripper again, but there were scratches and I was using sandpaper to get rid of the scratches. You also got to be careful here. You're going to be sanding, right? But you not even realize that you might just be polishing it, because sandpaper can get clogged, obviously. Like right here, it's already getting clogged. One trick to do that, to get rid of that, is just don't rip the paper, just move it around, kind of fold it a little bit, and it gets rid of it. Oh, let me get this piece. There's a stubborn piece right there. That's good enough. It'll get rid of it and it's good as new. Some sandpapers don't do that, but that's the expensive stuff. This is just ceramic based sandpaper. It works. It's cheap. And yeah, it works. If it clogs up, I can just do what I just did. I'm almost done. Just need to get this right here and this right here, and then move to a different grit. Now right here, since I'm sanding this way, like this, all the way with the grain. Right here, you gotta be real careful. I know obviously nobody has the same piece, but if it comes to something like this, there's there's a little step there because of the design. But if you come to right here, you have to be real careful. This right here to the side is hard, but this is harder because it's with the grain. So don't go like this. It'll be easier like that, but do not do that, because those scratches will be visible in the final product, in the final stage. So just let me show you. Let me give you a demonstration. Go slowly. If you want, you can put some tape there, but I don't think I need it. You can go slowly. I'm saying slowly, but I'm going fast. It's because I know how to use it, but slowly will work. And you just got to keep at it until you don't see the stain anymore, or the finish anymore. But do not go across it, no matter what, because the scratches will be visible, believe it or not. And you might think like, oh, I'll just use the 80 grit sandpaper across it and then use the other sandpapers to go with it. No, it'll still be visible. Trust me, it will still be visible. So go slowly here with the grain. It's almost there. Just need like right around here. All this. It's getting clogged. That's okay. Yeah, big difference because it was clogged. It took a while, but I'm almost taking it off right there. Look, it's already gone. Oh, you can still see a little bit, but I really got to reach in there. You can almost like you can almost push. It's like you're pushing, or like it's almost like you're scraping, and you're like touching the step. Just not too much. Don't go over, because then you'll see it. But you can also like just go over the, not over the step, just touch the step. Like if you're scraping something like that, that'll work just fine. Sorry, it's kind of shaking. I'm putting my belly. I'm putting my belly for stabilization. Because this table, it moves. Alright, looking good, looking good. Oops. Damn it. No, it's good. Whew. It's looking a little better. Oh, it looks a lot right there, but it's just a shadow. That's good enough for me because it's all sanded. Like, see, you can barely see it there. That's good enough for me. So I'm just going to get this part right here. And back here. Not there, I mean, that's where the metal's going to be, and that's a little screw hole. Same thing back here. I need to screw another one right there. And yeah, and move on to the next grit. I got the same thing right here. There's another step, and that's the back, so I gotta be really careful here. I gotta be really slow, because there's not, I can't go start from here and go over here, since it's only just this place right here. This little piece. I just gotta go really slow right here. But it's almost done. That smells real bad, this wood. Since I used this nastiest, most stinkiest, I'm talking stinkiest. This smells like if you're a little kid again and you're at McDonald's and you're in the playground and all the little kids, those nasty kids that had they were bare feet and they pissed in a corner. Yeah. Inside the little castle, they're with their feet, they sweat, they haven't showered. Yeah, this is what this smells like. I hate it. And I smoked this wood. I put it in smoke so it don't smell too bad, but it helped a little, just not enough. But the raw wood, when I picked it up, the 2x4, it smelled, damn, it's like, it was a trip to memory lane, but not in a good way. It's not, I didn't get it from the dumpster or anything, it's just wood that's been outside. And first I did the handguards. But, well, yeah, I did the handguards, and it was pretty clean. I mean, it wasn't as bad as this one, and it turned out beautiful. But for this one was a little too much character. So I gotta really sand it, make it all flush and even. And yeah, this should look really good. Really good. Now, I am having a little trouble with this, but another technique for using the sandpaper, you can just press down really hard and pull. it just pull, and it takes a little bit longer, but it's the probably, it's probably safer that way. You know, I really don't want to scratch up this design. It's already cool looking. It's already pretty, but it's working real nicely. See, it's like disappearing a little bit, but you just keep at it. Keep at it. I know for some, like a lot of people, this is not very fun. It's not very, they don't really care. And those are the people that give me the stuff to fix or to do. And for the people like me and you that like doing this, we're going to live longer. Okay. It's looking good. As long as that's with the grain, not across. I can't stress that enough. With the grain, not across it. That's looking pretty good. Oh, right there. I need to do that. Now I'm moving to 120. Where is it? I'm moving to 120 grit. Yeah, I skipped a whole bunch of numbers, but that's perfectly fine. Just don't skip too much. This one's pretty well used, but it still works. It's not clogged. It's just give a little big mistake. Wear you a dust mask? I don't really need it right now because it's not that bad. It's just it came from this. It's good to wear a dust mask at least. Not at least, wear a dust mask. That's important. You don't want any of this, especially this nasty, smelly wood. I don't want any in my legs, but I'm perfectly fine. There's an open window. There's a breeze, but it's not strong enough to pick up the dust. And the dust is just falling down. But oh wow, big difference already. But you start doing the same thing. What I did with the 80 grit, I'm gonna have to do the same thing with this one. It should be faster because the wood's already smooth. But it should be just a little faster. You can also just wrap it around your hand or your fingers, right? Just go to town. Oh, big mistake. Now, once I start going to a finer grit sandpaper, that's when you need to wear a dust mask. Like maybe 200, 300, that's when I'm going to start needing to wear a dust mask because the dust is too fine and it's too light, so it'll just, go in the air. Right now I'm fine, it's going straight down. The dust is too big, too heavy, so it'll just go straight down. After this, I gotta wear a dust mask. Oh wow, that's a difference. It's real smooth. You can't see it, but it's really smooth. Damn, and yeah, it looks uniform. It's looking real good. I'm not taking anything off. All I'm doing is making it smooth. And you can tell the difference between 80 grit sanded with the smooth sanded. You can tell, but all I'm doing is making sure I get everything. And that should be good enough to know that you're good with this and move on to the next one. Because with this one is just to get rid of everything. Make it all uniform. One flush piece of wood. This is to get rid of the scratches. I mean, you can't see them, but you can feel them. You can definitely feel it. The difference right here, it's already way too smooth. And there's a real big difference from 80 to 120. That's one of the reasons why I skip, so I can feel the texture. But once you like, keep doing this, and then you already know, you know. But like I said, if you don't know, just feel it. Feel it. Now, one part I wasn't clear about that I just realized is the stuff I'm using. This is it says traditional finish and sealer. So it's a sealer and a finish. So yeah, it can be it's a filler. It can be a filler too. There's a trick to it to make it a filler. Right now there's already like filler in this because all I did was dip it into this, or gave it a good thick coat and sanded it. And just enough where it will leave the color. So it's already filled. I don't need to strip it to make it to bare wood. There's filler in here from the shellac or whatever. This stuff's ugly, but it works because it also dries real fast. I didn't know what to get, so I just used this because that's what I thought I was going to get because it was shellac. But I was disappointed what it was, but it still gave a good color. And this is the color I was going for, actually. That's what I'm using to fill, or it's already filled, but that's what I'm using to like also stain and to give the finish. If the finish is not good enough, that's where true oil comes in. You might have noticed that it was upside down. It's because once I open it, I have to close it immediately and turn it upside down, because any trapped air in the little bottle, little container there, it will like create a film, like where the air meets the liquid, the oil, the true oil, and it will create a film. It will dry. So if you have it like this, you would have to like stick a nail or like a pen just to break the filler in there, and it won't be pure and clean oil. It'll be like kind of like flaky oil from the film that broke inside there. So keeping it upside down, you're gonna keep the film